There's a place hidden deep in the Vermont wilderness where people don't just go missing. They vanish without a trace. Over 5 years, 5 people disappeared here, some just steps away from friends, leaving behind no bodies, no clues, and no answers. Locals call it the Bennington Triangle, and what happened there may never be explained. In the heart of Vermont's Green Mountains, there's a stretch of dense forest, so still, so isolated, that even seasoned outdoorsmen tread carefully. The Native Americans once warned of this place, claiming it was cursed, a land where the earth itself could open up and swallow people whole. And between 1945 and 1950, something happened there that has never been fully explained. 5 people, gone. No bodies, no clues, no closure. It began on a cool October afternoon in 1945. Mitty Rivers, a 74-year-old local guide, was leading a group of hunters through the rugged wilderness near Glastonbury Mountain. Mitty wasn't just experienced, he lived in these woods. He knew every trail, every bend in the river. If anyone could survive out here, it was him. And yet, he vanished. Right in front of the group. Witnesses say he was just a few paces ahead. They blinked, and Mitty was gone. The only trace left behind was a single rifle cartridge found near a stream, where searchers thought he might have stumbled. Despite weeks of searching, no further evidence was ever found. It was written off as a tragic accident. But then, 1 year later, it happened again. On December 1st, 1946, Paula Weldon, an 18-year-old college student at Bennington College, decided to go for a solo hike on the Long Trail, a popular route through the woods. She wore a bright red jacket, an outfit that should have made her easy to spot. Several people reported seeing her on the trail that day. One group even remembered her walking just ahead of them before she turned a bend. When they rounded the same corner moments later, Paula had vanished. No blood, no struggle, just empty trail ahead. Massive search efforts followed. Bloodhounds were brought in. The FBI got involved. They combed the woods, questioned everyone, even offered rewards. Nothing. Paula Weldon had simply ceased to exist. 3 years later, the mystery deepened. In December 1949, a man named James Tedford, a 68-year-old war veteran, boarded a bus to return to the Bennington Soldiers' Home. Multiple passengers confirmed Tedford was on the bus after the last stop before Bennington. But when the bus arrived, he wasn't there. His luggage was still neatly in place. His timetable lay on his empty seat. The official story claimed he must have gotten off early, but no one saw him leave. It was as if Tedford had simply vanished into thin air while surrounded by other people. In October 1950, the pattern continued. Paul Jepson, an 8-year-old boy, was riding with his mother to the family's farm. While she tended to pigs for about an hour, she left Paul to play within eyesight of the truck. When she returned, Paul was gone. He too had been wearing a bright red jacket. Bloodhounds traced his scent to a nearby crossroads, and then the trail ended. It was like he had been lifted straight off the ground. Gone. Theories ranged from kidnapping to animal attacks, but no evidence ever supported either. Paul was never seen again. The final disappearance tied to the Bennington Triangle was Frida Langer, a 53-year-old experienced hiker. While on a camping trip with her cousin, Frida slipped crossing a shallow stream and got wet. She decided to hike back to camp, just a short distance away, to change clothes. She never made it. Over the next several weeks, search parties covered every inch of the area. Foot patrols, helicopters, trained dogs, nothing. Then, months later, her remains were found. Oddly enough, in an area that had been searched repeatedly before. Her body was too decomposed to determine the cause of death. How her remains ended up somewhere searchers had already been, or if they were ever really there to begin with, remains an unsolved riddle. Over the years, the disappearances have sparked dozens of theories. Some say a serial killer stalked the woods in those years, picking victims carefully. Others claim UFO activity was involved. Strange lights were spotted near Glastonbury Mountain around the times of some of the disappearances. There are even darker whispers. Stories of an ancient curse on the land. Legends of portals that open at random, swallowing anything and anyone who steps too close. Interestingly, hikers have long reported bizarre phenomena on Glastonbury Mountain. Compasses spinning wildly, electronics failing, and sudden, overwhelming feelings of dread. Whatever was happening, it seemed to choose its victims carefully, and after 1950, the vanishing stopped. As quickly as it started, it was over. Today, the Bennington Triangle remains a popular hiking destination. The forests are still there, the trails are still quiet, and the feeling that you're not alone, that never really goes away. Hikers sometimes report hearing footsteps behind them, only to turn around and find nothing. Some claim to spot a figure in red, standing deep within the trees, watching, waiting. Perhaps Mitty Rivers, Paula Weldon, James Tedford, Paul Jepson, and Frida Langer never really left. Maybe they're still out there, just beyond the mist, waiting for the next traveler to stray too far from the path.